Hey everybody, this is John Jordan with a real short video on visual thinking and presenting. Now, by no means am I a subject expert on the matter, but what I'm going to show you in this short video is that you don't have to be to use this problem-solving tool. So why use visual thinking? For brainstorming, for articulating an idea? To be honest, any problem can be made more clear using pictures. That's it. Also, it keeps people engaged because looking at each other's pictures is fun, and sketches, hand sketches, are very easy and quick and effective to do. So what is visual thinking? It's a process or system for drawing and communicating and problem solving using a simple set of tools and rules. Visual thinking is a four-step process. The first step is to look and see what's there. The second step is to just see what different patterns are beginning to emerge and to ask yourself if you know what you're seeing. The third step is to imagine and consider what a better way might be to configure the patterns. And lastly, the fourth step is to show and clarify your best idea to others. So the first step in the visual thinking process is learning how to look. This really sets the foundation for the whole visual thinking process. Learning how to look is really just following four simple steps. The first step is to collect everything you can to possibly look in. The more information, the better, at least at first. Secondly, have a place where you can lay everything out. Table, a desktop, to really look at it all side by side. Third, define some sort of basic coordinate system or set of parameters to give you a clear orientation and position based on the goal you're trying to accomplish. Lastly, find ways to ruthlessly cut everything out that you don't need. You need to be able to practice visual triage.
The second step of the visual thinking process is seeing. Now, if looking was about taking in all the visual information available, then seeing is learning how to focus on what's important. Say, for example, that you're taking a road trip with your friends. Car starts to make a funny noise or smoke. You pull over and you pop the hood. You look under the hood at what might be going on. You see some parts that you recognize, you see some things that you don't. After a while, you see a wire. They become disconnected or frayed, and you can now focus and see that problem, that component of the engine, to focus and to problem solve from there. Now, there are 6 categories of seeing that can help us better assess the situation. The first category is looking at who and then what objects or people are present or need to be present. The second category is how many of each are available. Third, where people or objects are currently or need to be located. Fifth, when things are happening, have happened, or need to happen in the future. And with these 5 components, how something may have happened, your problem, or how you want a process to function in the future. By using these 6 individual components as part of our seeing process, we have a powerful problem-solving tool. 1, because it's intuitive to the way we naturally think and see, and 2, using these 6 categories to subdivide our problem gives us a logical approach to look at these individual but interrelated components.
The third step in the visual thinking process is to imagine new ideas and solutions to our problem. A framework that I'd recommend to help through this process is called SQUID. By asking ourselves 5 questions, we can better 1, focus our idea, 2, determine how our audience is best going to receive that idea. The 5 questions to consider are: first, do I need to develop a simple or elaborate solution? How familiar is my audience with the subject? How complicated or simple should I keep my drawings? 2. Am I trying to communicate to an audience who appreciates and understands a qualitative or quantitative explanation? 3rd, does your audience need to hear that you know where you're going or that you know exactly how to get there? 4. Are we looking inward and improving or reinventing ourselves, or are we trying to compare and position ourselves relative to others? Lastly, number 5, am I trying to develop or communicate a plan for change, or understand just that this is the way it is today? The 4th step in the visual thinking process is to show. We looked, we saw, we imagined, now we get to communicate our ideas to others, to 1, inform them, 2, to persuade them. There's 3 steps to showing. 1, pick the right framework. 2, use the framework to create your pictures. And 3, use those pictures to communicate your ideas. Here's a quick overview of the different types of frameworks that you can use. The first is portraits. This will show who and what. The second is charts to communicate how much. The third is maps to communicate where. 4th is using timelines to communicate when. 5th is flowcharts to communicate how something could happen. And lastly, using plots to demonstrate why something needs to be done. To wrap it all up, the goal of visual thinking is just to take complex problems and make them more simple using pictures. This is a problem-solving toolkit that you can take anywhere with you, and it'll only get more simple and you'll get quicker at it the more you use it. I'd like to wrap up by giving credit to Dan Roan in his book, The Back of the Napkin. It's this book that inspired this video, and if you're interested in learning more, I'd encourage you to check it out. Thanks for watching.